Hello everyone, hope you're doing good and welcome back to my channel. Today we are at Geeks for Geeks, problem of the day 8 for the January month. And we again have a very interesting question in front of us because from the last few days, last 7 days, we had different kind of questions. But finally, we are coming back to list, okay, linked list especially. And let's see what this question is. And believe me, this question, you may go to any website, okay, especially for Geeks or Geeks websites, you will see that this kind of questions are marked as a very frequently occurring questions in any kind of interviews, okay, especially if you are a fresher. Please expect this kind of questions definitely, okay. All things around linked list is very common in everywhere, okay. Because see the kind of, see, if you talk about the graph kind of structure on all those things, it's very difficult to provide input for them, okay, in an interview setup, okay. But these kind of questions like the linked list and all these things can be easily coded and at the same time can be easily tested. That's why interviewers prefer this kind of questions, okay. So let's see what the question here is. It's very important question, and believe me, you can go to any website and search for it in linked list. If you see this kind of question is the most recurring questions in all interviews, okay. So after knowing the importance of this question, let us now begin what we can do here, okay. So the question name is merge to sorted linked list in reverse order. I hope the question makes it very clear. Still we will see what the question is. Given to linked list of size n and m. By the way, let me tell you, if you are solving it in Python, you will not get n and m in the input. Please see here, you are not getting n and m in the input, okay. So please be mindful of this fact, okay. Now we are given, okay, two list of size n and m which are sorted in non-decreasing order. So can you quickly tell me what is non-decreasing order? See, when I say non-decreasing, it basically means that it should, see, for example, first value is 10, the next value should not be less than 10. That is the only criteria, right? It can be equal or it can be greater, okay. For example, I have first value is 10, the next value can be 10 again, or it can be greater than, for example, it can be 11, okay. So that is what is meant by non-decreasing. It means that either it should be increasing or it should be steadily increasing. These are the two cases that could happen if we are talking about non-decreasing order, okay. The reverse of that is non-increasing order, okay. So yeah, that's, I hope you are understanding what I'm doing. See, don't we, see, when a fresher sees this kind of words now, they will feel like, "Oh, okay, I am not sure what is this, I will not be able to solve." But don't worry, this guy, see, this is just a different way of saying things, okay. It doesn't mean you will, you should know something before solving this kind of question. It's not like that, okay. The task is to merge them in such a way that the resulting list is in the non-increasing order, okay. So basically, non-increasing means that the next element should not be greater than the previous element, okay. It should either be equal or it should be less, okay. That is what is non-increasing order, okay. Now let's see what the question is. Remember, the given list are in this particular order. We have to return the answer in this order. So I hope it will be clear to in the question. So see, these are the two lists given to us: one pointing to 3 and 2 pointing to 4, okay. As you can see, 3 is greater than 1 and 4 is greater than 2. That's what they are trying to say by non-decreasing order. Now if you see the answer, what we are doing 4 is pointing to 3. What it means is, see, this is the order, non-increasing. That is, 3 should be this is the 4, right? Is the first element. Then the next element should be either 4 or less than 4, okay. That's what they're trying to say. Now let us see what we can do. So this is the thing, okay. And they are in this particular order, and we have to find later in this order. So how they are getting this order, let us understand. See, compare the first element of this and first element of this, okay. If you find that one is smaller, okay, so one should come first, okay. Then compare the next element of this and the existing element of this, which is smaller, 2 is smaller. So next 2 will come, okay. So now we are left with only 3 and we are left with only 4. Which of them is smaller? 3 smaller, so 3 will come then, and finally 4 will come here, okay. So this was, I know, a simple tracing, but that is not how it works. Because see the kind of complexity they are saying. They are saying you should not be using any extra space. Okay. Yeah, and see, when a normal person see this kind of question, what he thinks is, so see, I have to return a linked list, right, in the answer. So that particular complexity is not being considered here. See, that is not the case. You should not use anything. You should not create any other variable or any other item of the linked list also. That's what they're trying to say by O of 1. Okay. And the expected complexity is O of n plus n, because we have to at least go through each of them once, okay. Both the linked list are given to us, so that is why O of n plus n, okay. Let's see what we can do. See, first of all, whenever you get this kind of question, always make it very clear with the interviewer what they are trying to say. Whether you should return a new linked list, okay, that is what they're trying to say, or whether you should manipulate the existing variables given, that is existing elements of the linked list, to manipulate their linking to get the new answer. Okay, you have to verify that first. Okay, that that should be based on the expectations, right? If they don't mention that, then it doesn't make sense for you to code a big answer and then finally get to know that they don't want this kind of answer. Okay, so please verify that first whenever you get this kind of question in the interview. So now coming to the idea of what we are going to do. See, I will be tracing and show you what it means, but let us see what the question is now. I am declaring answer as none, okay, and this will be my final answer, by the way, while I return it. Okay, what I'm doing is, see this kind of setup you might have seen in the merge sort also. The same kind of code I'm using. Okay, so while I was writing this code, I was thinking of merge sort, because exactly same thing we do in the merge sort also. Okay, so let's see what is the question. So while h1 is not equal to none, what is h1, by the way? H1 is the linked list. See friends, I am assuming that you know at least something about a linked list. What is a linked list, and what are the properties? See, linked list basically means that there is no end to it. Okay, linked list basically means that you are basically linking a new element after the existing element. Okay, see, what is the disadvantage of an array? Okay, array means that you have a fixed size, right? But in linked list nothing is fixed. Whenever you want, you can add a new element as long as you have the memory to store it. Okay, so that is why linked list is comparable to arrays. It You can think it as the alternative of a array. But remember, linked list means that you are linking the memory locations. For example, where one is stored, okay, after that you get to know that you have to add another element. So you will store 3 in the free space, but you will link the two. Okay, you are creating a link between the two. This is not the case in array. Remember, array means continuous memory locations. Okay, the first and the next element will be in the continuous memory locations. Okay, that's why in array, especially the name of in C++, if you remember, the name of the array is basically a pointer to the that particular space. Remember that. Okay, so that is how it's being done. But in a linked list, you are basically storing it wherever you find a space, and then you will try to link them. Okay, using a link. This link is basically called a pointer in some languages, but yeah, that's how it is. You can think of it as a link or a pointer, right? So this is what it is. So h1 is a link towards the starting of the existing element, existing linked list, and similarly here is the h2. So this particular code will run, this particular code will run till h1 or h2 are not none. Okay, remember we are using and condition here. Either if even if one of them is none, this code, this while loop will break. Okay, will come out of this while loop. So what we're doing now, let's see. If in case h1 is h1, and by the way, this is the, see, each node in this particular linked list is going to have, will be object of this particular class. Okay, so what they will have, they will have a data component and they will have a next component. As I mentioned, this next component is basically link. Okay, a pointer. Okay, initially it will be none. Okay, and similarly it will have a data component. Okay, so this value what you are seeing here, this 1 and 3, see this one for especially, so these are the data elements. This will be in the data, remember that. Okay, so that's what I'm checking. If h1 dot data is less than h2 dot data, what I should do? See, try to understand this fact here. Yeah, for example, whichever is the smallest element, remember that will come the yeah, here the, it will be the last one to, and see that will in the our answer, that will form the last part. Okay, that is what it is. So what we have to do here, we are, see this how we will do. Initially answer is none, right? What we have to doing, see, first of all, for the next element of an h1, I am storing that in the temp variable. Okay, so now temp will point to h1 dot next. Okay, that is the next location of the h1. Okay, where the next pointer is pointing, that location will now be pointed by t1. Okay, temp. Next, what I'm doing, I'm making h1 point to answer. Don't worry, I will trace and show you this whole thing, but for now just understand what is happening. I'm making h1 point to my answer. Okay, now h1 is pointing to my answer. Remember, we have to return the file. See, this is going to the file answer, right? So it should point to the end element. So what we are doing, we are moving this answer also. Now answer will point to h1, and similarly, ultimately we have stored the h1 dot next here. Okay, so we will make h1 as the h1 dot next. Okay, that's what we are doing. And in the else case also, we are doing similar thing with h2. Okay, exact same thing, but in place of h1 we are having h2. Okay, so remember, this loop will continue till one of them is, till both of them are not none. Even if one of them becomes none, we'll come out of this loop, and we will do the same thing. For example, as you can see, the exact same thing we will do here, but we'll have a separate condition. Okay, till h1 is not equal to none, and this will be run till h2 is not equal to none. Okay, exact same thing. Okay, what are we having here? Exact same thing will come here. I am going a bit fast because I will be going and tracing and show you what it means. So let's see. Okay, we'll show the tracing part first. So yeah, initially h1 will point to 1 and 3. Okay, similarly h2 will point to 2, and then 2 will point to 4. Okay, initially answer is none. What I have to do next, see, first I will compare h1 dot data, which is 1, and h2 dot data, which is 2. Which of them is small? One is smaller. Okay, one is smaller. So what I will do next, see, this is what I will do next. Okay, yeah, I will make, this is the one, h1 dot next equal to answer. Okay, what is the answer? None. Okay, so now one will start pointing towards none. Okay, before that, what I will do is, yeah, try to understand this fact. One will start pointing towards none. Okay, this is how I will write it. Just a second. Yeah, now one will start pointing towards none. Okay, I hope you are clear. One will start pointing towards none. Okay, and this particular value where h1 is initially pointing, that will store as temp. So basically 3 will be now stored as temp. Okay, this particular thing 3 will be now stored as a temp. Okay, temp will point to it for. Okay, so now I will make answer point to h1. Okay, to which answer is pointing? H1. Just a second. Yeah, h1 dot next equal to answer, and answer is equal to h1. Okay, so answer will now point towards 1. Okay, answer will point towards 1 now. That's what it is. So this will no longer be the case. Okay, answer will point towards 1 now. Okay, and then what I will do, h1 equal to temp. Okay, what that means, see, initially this is temp, right? Now it will become, so what it will happen is it will look like this now. h1 will now point towards 3. So this is the case. Okay, next what we will do, again same thing will happen. Now what we will compare, we will compare 3 with 2. Okay, we'll compare 3 with 2. Which of them is smaller? Definitely 2 is smaller. Okay, so what will happen now, this part of the code will be executed. Okay, what will happen now, I will make this h2 dot, that is, yeah, temp is equal to h2 dot next. So okay, we will point a temp variable towards 4. Okay, we will do that. Then h2 dot next equal to answer. Okay, and currently this 2 will start pointing towards the answer. Okay, what is answer pointing towards? It is pointing towards 1. So now 2 will start pointing towards 1. Okay, that's what it is. And answer will, yeah, that's what it is. And then what will do, answer equal to h2. So now answer will point towards this 2. Okay, that's what it is. Now h2 is equal to temp. So temp will now point towards 4. This is what it is. Okay, next what we are doing, now we'll compare 3 and 4. Okay, now 3 and 4 will compare. So which of them is smaller? Definitely 3 smaller. Okay, what we'll do, the exact same thing will happen now. 3 will start pointing, yeah, 3 will start pointing towards the answer. Okay, so 3 will start pointing here, where yeah, where 3 answer was pointing. Next what will happen, answer will start pointing towards 3. This is what it is. Okay, remember, answer is a pointer, answer does not have any data value. Okay, next h1 will start pointing towards temp. Okay, so what is 3 pointing towards? 3 is going to, see, this is how it should have been. Okay, they should be pointing towards none. Okay, so now when 3 is gone, what should h1 point towards? It will point towards none. Okay, when it does that, what will happen, this particular loop will break now in the next loop. Okay, because h1 is becoming none now. Okay, then I will come and check this part. Okay, is h1 non equal, that is, what is that, h1 none. Okay, none is not equal to none. Is it true? It's false. So this part of the code won't be executed. Okay, now we'll come to this part of the code. Is h2 not equal to none? Definitely h2 is 4, so it's not equal to none. Okay, so this part of the code will be executed. What will happen now, temp will point towards next. Okay, so temp will start pointing towards none. Okay, then h2 will point towards answer, that is, h2 will start pointing to what the answer was pointing, so that is 4. Okay, yeah, 4 will start pointing toward this, then answer will be pointing towards h2, that is, answer will point towards 4 now. h2 will point towards 10. So what this is the case now. Yeah, now both of them are none. Okay, so this loop will continue till h2 is none. So you can see h2 is becoming none now. So this loop will also break out. Finally, what will return? Will return the answer. So what is the answer? This is the answer. So 4, 3, 2, 1, and 1 pointing towards none will be returned. So as you can see, this is the answer. Remember, here we have not created any object of this particular extra. Okay, so no, that's why in the beginning itself I have mentioned you. If you're getting this kind of question in interview, first you should ask whether I should create a new objects to return the the sequence of the answer, or I should be using the existing memory locations by pointing it to different values, by like by pointing it to different memory locations. I should form my answer. You should be asking that question, and based on that you should be designing. So in this particular answer, see, they have already mentioned over one, right? How it is possible? Because see, I have not created any new thing. Okay, I am dealing with only pointers here. That's why I'm not creating any new memory locations. Okay, that's what it is. That's why we have O1. And why, how we are ensuring that yeah, time is within O of n plus n. See, the whole of this is O of n. Okay, the whole of this is O of m. Okay, and together this will be O of n plus m. Okay, while I'm saying like that, because see, at a time only one of them will be processed. Okay, as simple as that. So together O of n plus m will be processed. So if you take the time complexity of all these things together, it will be O of n plus m. Okay, that's what it is. So remember one thing. See, when it comes to time complexity, many people get confused what we are doing. Okay, so remember O of 2n is also equal to O of n. Okay, I hope you know that fact. Okay, if you really, yeah, that's what it is. In genuinely, if you want to understand this, see, either here is either it. See, you have to always take the max complexity of the loop involved. Okay, so in this case, this is the max complexity of the loop involved. Okay, so always this will be contributing for the time complexity. The minor ones are usually skipped. That's what I'm trying to say. Remember, of these two whiles, only one of them will be executed. Okay, so again, it will be either look like O of n plus 2m or O of 2n plus m. And if we will not include integers like that, we will just say that the highest common denominator will be this. So that's why it is O of n plus m. So that's what it is. So I hope you are understanding what we are doing. I've already explained you this by tracing and showing you. And let me quickly run and show now. So yeah, as you can see, this answer is coming correctly. The our output and the expected output are the same. Okay. So yeah, friend, that was all for today. In this particular question, see, I'm definitely if you're new, if you're not able to understand anything, and if you have been continuing this video till this part, I will request you to please go and try to understand what is a linked list. Why was a need to derive the linked list? Okay, these things you should be knowing before coming and jumping to a question like this. Okay, see, remember, this is a medium level question, and it's one of the most important question asked in an interview. So if you're not understanding what it is, please go and understand what is a linked list, why we are doing that, and why this question is a challenge. Okay, because see, in an array we can go from left to right or right to left. That is not a problem. Okay, but in a linked list we can go only one way. Okay, that's why this kind of question becomes a challenge. That's why they are testing us with that challenge. Okay, to reverse the linked list in the right order. So I hope you understand what was the actual challenge or aim of this question and how we solved it. And remember, this question becomes important because of this. Okay, so if you are understanding, see, you will get many solutions, but in this question you are expecting O of 1. Okay, so that's what it is. That's why I always mention in the starting itself, you should be confirming that with the interviewer what kind of solution you want, what is the space complexity expected, and based on that you should have coded. Okay, so yeah, friend, that was all for today. I hope you understood this. And yeah, meet you tomorrow. That's all for today. Thanks a lot.